Alright, now I'll talk about the rebinding scene that comes with Sinput. It's just in the rebinding folder, the Sinput rebind scene. Now if I run this, let's just maximize it on play so you can see it. You can see it comes up as a list. It lists all of the connected devices that Sinput can work with. So I've got my Xbox controller connected, and also a keyboard and mouse. I could also connect my PS4 controller, which might take a moment, but it'll take a little moment for Unity. Oh, there it is. It's right there. Wireless controller. So it lists everything and some settings, which I will talk about in a moment. And I can just start rebinding things. So if I say I don't like WASD controls, let's use igical. So left, right, up, down, and that will just work. But maybe I want to use igical and WASD, so let's add left, right, up, down. And all of that will just work. We'll just click apply, that will save to a file, or if you're running on mobile or something else, it will use player prefs. And if I don't like the changes I've made, I can just reset to defaults. It works as you expect, and of course it works with gamepads too, so I can rebind stuff on here. The axis names aren't human readable quite yet, but it works. If someone's decided what input they want for a control, that's the input they will get, even if it doesn't display something you can really understand. It doesn't look right. Press the wrong thing. Yeah. So, these settings, you can specify, I'll talk about these in a moment. We'll go to Sinput, Rebind menu settings, and this is what sets up the things that are listed above the input devices. We can just disable this entirely if we want to not have any of those settings, although I would advise that for accessibility reasons you at least think about what settings you should expose to the player. So we've got mouse sensitivity. If there's no mouse input for your game, or it's if it's on a console or something, there's no need for you to have that. Toggleable controls. So let's add a control that would need toggling, like a crouch, for example. Crouch is a nice toggleable control. See, why not? So if I go back to my menu rebind settings, we'll type crouch in there, and when we click play, we can see that we've got an option for toggle crouch. So normally we would hold crouch, but that can be strenuous for some people, or just a pain. So we can enable toggle crouch, and you can just tap to start crouching and then tap it again to end crouching. We've also got inverts, which is, some people really need those inverts, and sensitivity for certain controls. We'll just look at the settings again. So yeah, you just specify which smart controls you want inverted, and for the sensitivity, the scalable controls, you specify the minimum, the maximum, a name, and it will apply which smart controls this setting applies to. So rather than having a separate look vertical sensitivity and look horizontal sensitivity, you can just say look sensitivity and then say vertical and horizontal are part of that. And you can just add more or less, or add stuff and remove stuff, and it just populates the settings list with the settings that you might want to have. I should mention this works completely with keyboard, gamepad input. Let me just switch to my PlayStation controller. There we go. And we didn't bind anything for crouch on the gamepads, did we? Let's specify, say, that on the Xbox, and on the PlayStation controller. So it's you know, the rebinding, it just works for the most part. What do I mean for the most part? It just works. As far as I know, there's nothing wrong with it. Integrating it into your own games might be a bit tricky because it is using the Unity canvas system, so you might want to change what colors things highlight. That's all inside. It's entirely inside the rebinding folder, so you can change. Oh goodness. You can change the stuff in this scene and also the prefabs that the menu is built from. So let's say the toggles. We want toggles to be a different color or something like that. Yeah, toggles when highlighted, they should be green or whatever, and that will you know, just change the settings. Oh goodness, there it is. You know, and you'll be able to change the images and stuff, but you also need to specify what happens when the quit button's clicked, and also when this scene gets loaded. I don't really have any advice for how to best integrate this into your game, but it works as is, and if you can find a way to slot it in, it will make things a lot easier for your players who really might have difficulty with your default bindings, or the gamepad might not be one that you've set up, or you know, the mouse might need some sensitivity adjustments. All of that stuff. It just makes it easier for people to play your game the way that they want to play it, too. Yeah, that's basically the explanation for the Rebind menu.